With other locations in New York, Chicago and Austin, and more branches planned for Boston and Miami, Singapore is currently the only museum of ice cream outside of the USA. Join me to take a look around, and I'll give my thoughts on the good and the bad aspects of this museum later in the video. Ice cream! Ice cream! I'm sure the ice cream name was supposed to be a pun. I just wrote coconut. I'm a bit confused by this, aren't I? What are we doing here? Riz, is it yummy?
Yeah.
Yummy? Yummy, yummy in your tummy? Cheese! You have raspberry, you can have mango, or you can have a mix.
Mix.
You want a mix? Like that? Oh, that's mango. You want this? You want some mango?
Mango.
Mango?
I want mix.
You want a mix? Okay, you want both. Okay. Where, so you're picking this up? I need a second ice cream station. Oh, you're dropping it. Chocolate, you dropped it. Your name is Chocolate today. My name is Coconut. Coconut. That's my name. Your name is Chocolate.
There's one chocolate.
You had chocolate before, didn't you? I've not had any coconut yet. Cold. Bit cold.
You meant they had coconut.
No coconut yet.
Daddy! Daddy! Pink is fun!
Huh?
Daddy, pink is fun!
Pink is fun. As you can probably see, my son really enjoyed his trip to the Museum of Ice Cream. We went on a Wednesday as it was his birthday. The museum had a nice amount of visitors, so that there were people enjoying the different rooms without it being overwhelmingly busy. I'd imagine that the weekends would be busier, but I can't say for sure. So the first thing that comes to mind when assessing the Museum of Ice Cream is that, well, it's not a museum. If you're thinking to visit and learn about the history of ice cream, this probably isn't the place for you. Wikipedia says it's an art installation and museum, and certainly every room in the venue would look at home in a modern art gallery. The company's founder calls it an experium, as it's both an experience and a museum. The reality is, it's an indoor playground with ice cream and rooms that are hugely Instagrammable. And there's nothing wrong with any of this. You can take your kids out for some fun, eat the ice cream and take some nice photos, but do wonder if they considered other names like House of Ice Cream Zone, something like that. Something that doesn't mention it's a museum. Really? No? What'd you say? Chris, what'd you say? You want no ice cream?
I don't want ice cream again.
Wow. Okay, so just to show you where Museum of Ice Cream is in Singapore, so it's next to the Dempsey Hill area, so you can take a bus to the area and walk up, but it's a bit of a walk from a bus stop, so I'd suggest probably you're going to take a cab or drive to the location. I probably think that once you're finished with the ice cream there, you might want to head over to Dempsey Hill to eat there, because there's really nice restaurants around Dempsey Hill. And maybe if you've got energy left after that, cross Holland Road over to Botanic Gardens and go explore the area there. If you want to as well, you can head to the Napier MRT station, which is on the Thomson East Coast line that connects to Orchard Boulevard and Orchard. So you can head to Orchard Road and do some shopping later in the day as well. Okay, my final thoughts on the Museum of Ice Cream in Singapore. Firstly, one negative is that they advertise that the tickets cost from 35 Singapore dollars, but they do apply a $4 ticketing fee, and that applies per ticket, not per transaction. So it's not an overall credit card fee, it is per ticket. So you cannot buy a ticket for 35 Singapore dollars, you have to buy a ticket for 39 Singapore dollars, and that's if you're a Singapore resident visiting during the week. If you're going on the weekend, or you're not a Singapore resident, or you want to add some different options on there, then you're going to pay more. And then you have the choice then, really. Do you want to go to Singapore Museum of Ice Cream, or do you want to just go to an indoor playground that might be half the price, possibly even a quarter of the price, depending on what ticket you choose. And the indoor playgrounds in Singapore are pretty amazing. There's huge indoor play areas that have all sorts of facilities, and like I say, they are cheaper. Now, don't get me wrong, I think if you're going for like an event, like a birthday or something, the Museum of Ice Cream is a nice place to go to. We went for my son's birthday, as I mentioned, and he really enjoyed it. He'd probably give it a 5 out of 5. For me, I'm going to give the Museum of Ice Cream a 3 out of 5, and I think that's a reasonable score for the venue. Yeah, like I say, overall a good experience, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again soon.